Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So the other day I made a video about 5 reasons why you should not buy a Chanel bag or why a Chanel bag might not be the right bag for you. And one of those reasons that I mentioned was the bad customer service. I got a lot of comments on my video, which I am of course super glad about. Many of you actually shared their quite bad experiences with Chanel, while others of course stated that they had brilliant, excellent and very pleasant experiences. Of course I am aware of the fact that I'm obviously not able to make a globally representative statement about Chanel customer service. I can only speak for myself. And this is the reason why I'm making this video, because I want to dedicate it to my personal story with Chanel as a brand, but also of course with its customer service. So technically this might fall into the category of like storytelling videos or something like that. I've never done that before. I will share with you the good, the bad and the ugly, and at the end of the video you will find out if there is a happy ending to my personal story with Chanel as a customer. If you are new to this channel, as a first-time visitor or a new subby, I'm sending you a warm welcome. Hello, I'm Evelyn, this is the Geek is Chic, and on this channel we're talking fashion, luxury, lifestyle with a mindful, smart and maybe a little bit more realistic approach. So if you see me for the first time and you'll happen to like my content, please make sure to subscribe, to like, and always feel free to leave me a comment down below because I love to chat with you guys. So let's begin this story with my teenage or young adult me, because my love for Chanel even by then was so huge that I think it's worth mentioning in this story. I was such a fangirl of Chanel that I even celebrated my 20th or like my 22nd birthday or something in front of my local Chanel store, like on the streets, like on the other side of the street, so we wouldn't get in trouble at night when everything was closed. But still, I wanted to be as close to Chanel as possible for, like, you know, my age. So I invited my best friends, I got a bottle of cheap Prosecco and we celebrated my birthday in front of the closed Chanel boutique. I know it's kind of a weird story, but I just want to emphasize how much of a fangirl I was. Fast forward to my 30th birthday, I was able to get myself my very first Chanel bag, which was the medium-sized classic flap that I will insert here or here as a picture. You've seen this bag on my Instagram and also here on this YouTube channel a couple of times already. So I bought this bag from my own savings, and my parents actually, you know, joined in and gave me like the rest of the money that was still missing for my 30th birthday. But this was one of the first times that I actually like encountered Chanel customer experience. The SA there in that boutique was very routine. He was super aware of the fact that I had this dream bag standing in front of me, and my parents and I really didn't have any clue. We were such tourists. I was already working in fashion for quite a couple of years by then, but I still didn't really have the expertise and I didn't have like the research in the back of my mind that I have now. So I was very naive, you know, just like looking at this bag, admiring it for what it was. But he took his time, he explained a lot of the details, you know, the lipstick pocket and all those kind of things that customers want to hear when they purchase that kind of bag. And it was all really pleasant. They gave us the champagne, they wrapped the bag up very pretty, and it was just like a good standard nice experience in a Chanel boutique, I could say. For my birthday, I think like 3 years ago or something, I went to Paris with my boyfriend and I decided to go to the Rue Cambon store because I think I never have been there before. So I wanted the experience, I wanted the white carry-on bag, and I got myself 2 pairs of shoes there, which was a very pleasant experience as well. The SA was not in a hurry, even though some of you may know how crazy and very like wild and strongly frequented this particular boutique is. She still didn't really stress us or something. She didn't push us to, you know, purchase or to make a decision, or like at least me, my boyfriend was just sitting there drinking a Coke. And so yeah, I was able to take my time. It was a very pleasant experience. She even told me that when I'm already getting the shoes, I don't have to stand in line, which was the line waiting for the bag section. So I guess that's a plus. In the Rue Cambon, they also have this little like separate little room where you can sit down and, you know, do the payment, which I think is nice too. She even offered me to make pictures on the iconic stairway. So yeah, that was Paris. And when it comes to my bad customer experiences, all these actually happened in Germany. So let's get into the bad stories. And I really have some jewels for you. So sometimes it really was just like the small things, like the packaging, for example. They would just throw the shoebox into the carry-on bag, no ribbons, no wrapping, no flowers, anything, which of course is a little bit of a bummer, because at that time I already, as I said, made a couple of different experiences in other luxury boutiques or with other luxury brands like Celine or Dior, where I was always treated the most polite and amazing way. But the most frustration I did get around like 1 year or like 1.5 years ago, when I decided I wanted to get myself a Chanel mini. And I know that it can get quite hard and tricky to get your hands on a mini, because they are actually not considered a classic and they are not part of like the standard range or stock at a Chanel store. So they are considered seasonal bags and they don't necessarily come with every season. So the request for these bags is very high, and when I stepped into my local Chanel store, I was aware of that fact. But still, the SA in my local boutique was not particularly interested in, you know, helping me out. She actually explained to me that they, in that current moment, did not have any minis, and she told me the wrong date for the arrival of the new season twice. So I rescheduled my whole days to be like in the store at 10 a.m. twice for nothing. That was kind of a cool thing. And she also proposed to me another bag, another seasonal bag that was kind of similar to the mini, which also I liked, at least on the picture. And she offered me to call me once the bag would be there, which she never did. And when I came in to the store like 3 weeks or something later, just, you know, to ask politely like what the status of the bag order would be, she refused to talk to me. I was just told that she was with another customer, which of course I respect, but I literally saw her and she saw me, like our eyes met, and she couldn't even come over for 1 minute, just say hello and tell me when approximately she would be available again, which is something that you can do even though you have another customer there as an SA. I experienced that so many times with Dior, and my SA always takes the time to come over to me, just say, hey, how are you? I have these customers there, I will be back with you, I don't know, in an hour or something. She didn't bother to do that. So at that point, my frustration level was like up there, and I really just felt mistreated as a customer. So I just really rarely stepped into my local boutiques since then. I really tried to avoid it, and I focused more on visiting boutiques when I was, you know, on trips in different cities, or of course I took a better, closer look on the pre-loved market. But in one of the other German cities, I also had one of the most hilarious and also kind of ridiculous and embarrassing moments or experiences at a Chanel boutique. In that particular city, I went in, it was last summer, no, I think it was this summer actually, it was this year. So I went into the boutique and they had these like very iconic Chanel sandals, like slides. I will insert them here if I like find a street style or something with them. And on display was a beige shoe with the beige leather, and the other shoe next to it was the exact same model but with black leather. One was the right shoe, the other one was the left shoe, and they were both the same size. And that was reason enough for the SA to assume that this was actually a pair, that they come like that you have like a beige shoe and a black shoe. And this really irritated me and confused me, because I never saw this particular pair of a beige and a white shoe anywhere on Instagram or something. And I mean, if you are into luxury fashion, if you are into Chanel, if you follow a couple of Instagrammers or like influencers, you will know that these shoes were like all over the internet and very, very hyped up during like this summer. So I never saw this particular combo before. I was very irritated, and I really urged her to like take a look in the bag to just double check if this was like right. You know, after a couple of tries, I actually managed to convince her. She went into the bag, she came back, she was super embarrassed because she had to find out that indeed she told me bullshit. So of course these shoes did not come with a beige and a black, you know, shoe. This pair only does come in black or in beige. So yeah, she was very embarrassed. I could see that. We tried to laugh it off. I am not a rude customer by any means. I think I consider myself a very polite, sometimes even too polite customer. So we just left it off. I told her don't worry about it. I will think. I have to decide which color I take, and I left the boutique. So at that point I was kind of fed up with Chanel and I just leaned towards other brands more, like Dior for example, and I just very rarely ever visited boutiques anymore. Then, a little bit later that year, I decided to get myself another pair of the Chanel sling bags because I absolutely love them. So I took a look at the pre-loved market and I didn't really find any nice pair in my particular size there. So I thought, okay, I'll have to take the plunge and I will have to go to my local boutique. So I went there with no expectations whatsoever. But anyway, this experience was very different, as it turns out. By accident, I met a very, very polite and friendly and open SA. He showed me the sling bags. He even, showed me a couple of different designs and variations regarding color and the tweed, the materials. I really enjoyed my stay there. And he made this experience for me the first positive one in a very long time. So I got the shoes, he gave me his card with his direct mobile number, which I never got before. I was handed a lot of Chanel SA cards, but they only gave me like the standard general number where you can't really reach them in person when you have a request. He actually gave me his like direct number, which I thought was great. And I left the boutique in a very happy state, which gave me new hope. Fast forward around a month ago, I was looking for a new bag. For the past weeks or really months, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know, buying a bag is a really big deal for me. I just remembered him and the great experience that I had, and since I had a little bit of like new hope for Chanel, I decided to contact him. I asked him about, my specifications, what I was interested in regarding the model, the type of the bag and the colors, and asked him what he has there. And he immediately answered. He sent me a couple of different pictures of different bags. I went there, I spent 2 hours there. He offered and showed me a huge range of different bags in different colors. I tried on so many different bags. I already did insert a couple of those images in my last video, in my wishlist video. I actually found a bag that really like sparked, and which I think was like love at first sight, which always is the best indicator. I also was interested in a pair of shoes, which ended up not being there in my size, and he actually offered me to order them. So right now I'm on the wish list for those shoes, and he's trying to order them in from another boutique, which was never offered me before. I didn't even know that this was a thing at Chanel. Like, to me, all the SAs always said, no, we cannot order something in for you from another boutique. And that's that. So here you have it. This is my very personal and emotional and long story of my experience with Chanel as a brand, and particularly with the customer service. I hope that with my new SA, Vladi, if you happen to see this, you are amazing. I will have many more amazing experiences, and I am really happy that I found this person that I can have amazing shopping experiences with, that I can trust, so that I can enjoy the brand Chanel over again, and that I can fall back into love with this brand that just owned my biggest passion when it comes to a particular fashion brand. So let me know about your personal experiences. Let me know if you are just as much of a fangirl for Chanel as me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next